BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. And welcome to another video from me. So it has been a while since I have posted anything. I think about a week or so. That feels like forever for me. When you're someone who tries to post daily, not posting for like a whole week is a lot. It feels like a lot anyway. But I just wanted to pop on to let you guys know that I'm doing fine. Everything is okay, and we are going to get back to our regular schedule programming tomorrow. I was going to wait till tomorrow and just start posting again, but I thought I would pop on and do a video with like, what am I currently reading? I'm not going to get into what have I been reading. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm going to talk about what I'm currently reading and kind of talk about like where I've been and what's been going on over the last week or so. Just because, you know, I share stuff with you guys. So that's what I'm here to do. And I know a lot of you worry about me. I posted in my community tab the other day that I hadn't been feeling well, and that's why I wasn't posting videos. I hope to be back on Thursday, but that didn't end up being the case. I really think that this heat has gotten to me. I don't like summer. I know a lot of you live for it, and that's fantastic for you, and I do hope that you are enjoying every second of it, because I am not. I am miserable. Like, when it's nice, it's fine, but it's the humidity and the heat warnings, and we've had a number of heat warnings this summer so far. We had like almost an entire week a few weeks ago. Today, it's another heat warning. It's just, I can't do it. My body just can't do it. It's too much. It affects, actually, of all things, my stomach. I get ill. Like, I start to feel sick and nauseous, and it's not good. It's not very good. So that's what I've been dealing with basically for the past week. That's basically what's happened. So I don't remember the last time I posted. I know it wasn't last Sunday because I didn't do a weekly wrap up or my week in books. But so on Monday, so Sunday I wasn't feeling well, which is why I didn't post anything. On Monday, I was at the hospital for my 9-month post-transplant checkup. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have surpassed the 9-month mark. I can't believe it. Anyway, my transplant cardiologist is thrilled. Super happy with how well I'm doing. Super happy that I'm back to work already. Like, you know, it's just, it's fantastic. Like, they're happy. I'm happy. Everything has been going tickety-boo. And, you know, the only thing we are watching or monitoring at this point is the fluid that I still have on my belly, because I still do have a bit of fluid on my belly. It's not a lot, thankfully, not as much as it was pre-transplant, but my liver is still needing to heal itself from the damage that was done from my old heart. Anyone who knows the cardiac, you know, the way these things go, the heart and the liver are very much, you know, a package deal, and what affects one affects the other, and my heart was so badly damaged and so not doing so good that it caused cirrhosis of the liver, basically. So that is healing itself, which is great. They say, like, he told me that you usually see some like pretty good changes towards like the first year post-transplant, which we're coming up to in October. So yay on that. But about a month, 2 months ago, early May, they put me on a new medication. They put me on a half dose just to see how well I was going to do on it. You want to see how, you know, you're going to fare on it. Is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing? It's actually a medication for low blood pressure, so it's meant to raise your blood pressure. So they want to see, you know, how well I tolerate it before they give me like the full dose, kind of an idea. And what this medication also does is I think it constricts the blood vessels or something like that. So the way he explained to me is that it's actually meant for the fluid on my belly, is that it actually like stops more fluid from accumulating, basically. So at this point now, my weight has stayed the same, which is how I measure the amount of fluid in my belly, is because my weight stays the same. Like, I'm not someone who gains and loses a lot of weight unless I suddenly like go on, like, which I would never do, go on some kind of crash diet or suddenly start eating like McDonald's every day. You know, I eat the same thing every day. I get the same amount. I'm basically the same. My weight has stayed the same for about the past 10 years. The only reason my weight has fluctuated is because of being in hospital. That was the big one last year. That's where I lost quite a bit of weight. But since I've been out of hospital, my weight has stayed the same. It's just increased, and it's increased because of the extra fluid on my belly. So we have now like tapped, like for the last 2 months, my weight has not changed other than like a pound up or down, which is normal fluctuation day to day. You know what I mean? So they're very happy with that. So this medication is doing what it's supposed to do. So they've decided actually to up me to the full dosage because they're like, might as well, let's do it. Let's make sure, because I'm tolerating it. No problem. Everything's been fine. So that's great. And then what we're going to do is I have to get blood work done this coming week. And then they're going to see what my potassium is, because that's the big marker that they're looking at for me. That's the one thing that you've got to be careful of, is you don't want too high potassium. So they're going to check because my potassium's kind of been all over the map since transplant for whatever reason. So they're keeping like an eagle eye on it, if you will. And as long as it's still like, we're still cruising along, doing really good, they're going to up the water pills that I'm on. The water pills are basically to take the fluid off. So the plan is now we've stabilized and we're not adding fluid. Now we're going to take off what's there. Basically, that's where we're at. And, you know, he's hoping that we can, like, I think I told you guys that a couple months ago, I think it was in early April, I had fluid removed at the hospital and it was unpleasant. They don't want to do that again. Thank you. They don't want to do it again, mainly because of the risk of infection or something like that. Anytime that you're doing a procedure like that, you can potentially risk infection. And I have to be super careful about not getting any kind of infection, right? So yeah, so that's a good thing. So he also talked to me about, you know, like the stuff I need to be following up with my family physician. I need to see a dermatologist to make sure that, you know, skin cancer, unfortunately, because of the anti-rejection drugs, it is a major thing. Like there is, I think they said a 75% chance I am going to get skin cancer because of the fact of the drugs that I'm on. There's a big chance I'm going to get diabetes just because of the drugs that I'm on. So these are like, you think the transplant, hey, great, you got the transplant, yay! And it is, yay, it's great. But now you got to watch out for all these other things. So that's fine. It is what it is. I jokingly actually just said to my husband today, we were out and it's bright and sunny out, and every day, like every single day before I leave my house, tip to tails, SPF 50, regardless if I'm in an office all day or not. And I don't go sit outside. That's the outside is no. But we saw a woman walking down the street and she had an umbrella, and it's not raining, it's sunny out. And Garrett's like, were we expecting rain? Like the umbrella was open. And I said, no. I said, it's actually quite a smart idea to keep the sun off of you, right? And I said, well, if I'm meant to look like a Victorian ghost, being completely pale for the rest of the summer, I may as well get a fancy ass parasol to carry around with me. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to buy myself a very fancy parasol, and I don't care. I'm going to walk around outside with it just to keep the sun off me so I can continue to look like a Victorian ghost. So yeah, so that's how that's been. Like I said, my stomach's been off all week. I haven't felt horrible all week. Let's put it that way. I've had a pretty decent week, but then, you know, it's just like certain things. It's like, oh my gosh, now here goes my stomach. Thankfully, I actually talked to my doctor and he gave me the thumbs up to do this. I still have, if you guys remember, if you've been watching for a while, back in November when I got home from the hospital, I was dealing with major nausea from the medication. So they gave me these pills that in case the nausea came back, and he gave me the green light. He's like, if you need to take them now because you're not feeling well, take them. He says, I'd rather you take that than Gravol, because Gravol does nothing. Like not for what I'm dealing with. Gravol, I think, is great. Like, is it for motion sickness? But I used to take it for like, no, but he's like, no, it doesn't work for what you want it to work for. Take this stuff. So I have like a bottle of pills. So if I need to, I've only taken like 1 or 2 and it has made all the difference. So that's been really great. But anyway, you're not here for medical hour. Medical hour with Sarah. But yeah, so that's basically how I've been. I felt really good yesterday. Yesterday was a great day. I felt fantastic. And I thought I was going to record yesterday and I thought, let's give it another day and today I felt great. So here we are. So today, Garrett and I I had to go down to the hospital again because, like I said, they increased that one medication, but it wasn't ready for me to pick up because they had just increased it while I was there. So now, so they didn't have it ready. So I had to go back and pick it up today. So that's fine. It is what it is. I've been taking double the dose for the entire week leading up to, but I'm almost out of those original pills. So now I had to pick up anyway. I had to do that, and then I came home from that, and then Garrett and I went and did a quick little bit of grocery shopping. We didn't buy very much. We just bought, I wanted some cereal for breakfast in the morning. I kind of go through these kicks with breakfast of like I eat like the same thing for like a month and a half and then I change what it is. Do you guys do that as well? I think it's some form of ADHD. I don't know. I'm a firm believer that every single one of us has a slight form of what is it? You know, when you're obsessed over something. You know, obsessive compulsive OCD. We all have. I could remember the full thing, but I couldn't remember the acronym. I really believe that everybody has a little bit of OCD. And mine tends to be around food. And it's the same with lunches. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to take this for lunch every day. And then after like a month, I'm like, no, I want something different now. So then I'll change it and I'll have that for like a whole month, you know? But my dinners, I always like, are always all over the place. But I've been having bagels for like the past month, like a half a bagel every morning with some peanut butter. And it's been quite good, but I've been craving cereal. So I got some, what did I buy? Rice Krispies. I bought some Rice Krispies and we bought some milk and we bought some butter because we needed that. And we got hamburger buns because Garrett's making hamburgers for dinner. We bought this really nice seasoning to put on. Oh, they're so good. And we're going to have a salad with that for dinner tonight. So that's our dinner. And then we brought the groceries home and then we went back out to Value Village to the thrift store and I bought some books. I got a bunch of books. Some of them came out of the bag. Anyway, I got some books, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with those very shortly. So, yeah, I got that, and then now I'm home, and here I am sitting down to talk to you guys. And, okay, 12 minutes in, let me share with you what I'm reading. I'm sorry for rambling. Welcome to the rambling time. I know a lot of you love this. Some of you do not. If you do not, I am sorry. This is my channel. This is what I do. This is not just about the books. This is about all the things. I know that there's people who have commented on my videos that they really appreciate me talking about like the transplant stuff, especially after the fact, like following this whole journey and stuff like that. It's been surreal. Like even for me, I still can't believe. A part of my brain still doesn't believe that I have someone else's heart beating in my chest. I truly don't. There's a part of my brain that doesn't. I know it's a fact because I was in that surgery and I have now heard that heartbeat. That's not what I'm used to hearing. The fact that I've been 9 months without having the issues that I used to deal with. You know, the fact that I have like skin that is now like pink and not purple. You know, the fact my hands aren't turning purple. You know, the fact that my nails have grown. These are my nails. You know, like all these things are clearly, I was in the hospital. I had the surgery. I know it happened. But a part of my brain still doesn't technically believe it because it just is so unbelievable. It really is. Anyway, what am I currently reading, guys? I'm not going to share with you everything that I've finished because I finished a bunch of stuff over the last week or so. This morning, though, I will share with you. I did finish a book this morning, so I'll share that with you. I finished A Man in the Park by Emma Darcy. I have not rated this yet. I still need to sit down and do like my whole spreadsheet thing. I'm going to do that, but it's probably going to be a 3.5 star. I did enjoy it. I will talk more about this one tomorrow. I'll talk about the videos coming up in just a few seconds. So yeah, but pardon me, I've got the hiccups all over the place right now. Good Lord. What am I currently reading? Home. Files. Hold on. Let me just see here. Excuse me, just a second. I should have had this pulled up before I sat down to chat with all you lovely people. What am I currently reading? What is it called? I keep on forgetting the title of this book. Good Lord. Frustrating. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I can tell you. Let me do this. Hold on. There it is. I knew it started with a B. So I am currently reading Breaking the Rake's Rules by Bronwyn Scott. This is a Harlequin historical. Guys, this book takes place in Barbados in 1836. This is fantastic. I love nothing more than Regency romances that take place outside of England. So the time period that this book takes place, there's an author's note at the beginning of the story. Prior to this time period, Barbados' economy, if you will, was through barter and trade of rum and sugar. This is after the Civil War, because they discuss in the book that there's a lot of freed slaves trying to purchase land in Barbados, but there's not a lot of land available for them to purchase, basically. So our main character, Kit. Rafe is the guy from another one of the books. Kit, this is the third book in a series. I know a lot of you are like... Anyway, his name is Kit. And he is in Barbados he's a rum runner. And he's got a bit of a backstory. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. So her name is Bryn. And her father is a banker. So he has arrived in Barbados because he wants to open one of the first banks. And Barbados, if I'm remembering correctly, is or was a colony, a British colony, correct? It would be a British colony, or would have been a British colony. I don't think it is anymore. I think that they said, nah, and they were done with the whole thing. But they're trying, at this time period, they were setting up like a bank to use like British currency and all the things, right? So they're looking for investors, and Kit is going to be an investor, and Bryn is the daughter of the guy who's like kind of in charge of finding these investors, and she's kind of there to weed out the less desirable people, because yes, even though you might have money, they want to make sure that you are still an upstanding person. And he has a bit of a history, a not so great history. Let's put it this way. Half of the people back in England think he's dead, and they aren't too upset about it. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I am maybe a quarter of the way through this one, and I'm really enjoying it. I hope to sit down and get a lot more reading done on this one today. I'm actually reading this one on my Gloss app from Harlequin, and I am reading it on my see my Stitch background. I am reading this on my Samsung tablet. Because even though it's not my favorite thing to read off of, I prefer my Kobo secondary to my Kindle. I'm loving my Kobo, believe me. But I'm reading it on the Gloss app, so that's that. And the other book that I'm currently reading, I was reading this digitally too when I was out earlier. I am reading the next Babysitters Club book, which is The Ghost at Dawn's House, which is book number 9 by Anna Martin. And this one's a lot of fun. There's Dawn finds a secret passage in her house, blah, blah, blah. I'll finish this probably on Monday because I am about that far. And I have made a decision in regards to my nostalgia books. So what I'd been doing before, this is going to be a long video, guys. I hope you all grabbed a drink. What I've been doing, it's kind of a catch-all video. What I've been doing before is that I was like, I'd read 6 Babysitters Club books, then 6 Sweet Valley Twins books, then 6 Sweet Valley High books, then 6 Nancy Drew books, and then yada, yada, yada. I decided to just stick with the Babysitters Club. The reason being is because of the Canadian dollar, which I know you guys are like, how does one correlate with the other? I don't own all the Sweet Valley books. I don't own all the Sweet Valley Twins books. I only have a handful of Sweet Valley Twins books. And I don't own all the Nancy Drew books. Now, the Sweet Valley High books, the majority of them I can get on Kindle Unlimited. I did cancel my Kindle Unlimited subscription because I really wasn't using it. The Nancy Drew books, I think you can get them on Everand. But the thing is, like, if I'm going to pay for them, I'd rather pay for the physical edition so I can have them because I want the collection. That's the point. So for right now, the Canadian dollar is horrible against the US dollar. It's just doing horribly. It's costing so much. Like, if I want to try and order some books, it's costing somewhere in the neighborhood of $10 to $12 per book if you include the cost of the book and then shipping on top of that. And with tariffs and the whole 9 yards, and I don't know whether the tariffs are involved in the purchase of books, of used books. I don't know. I don't follow all of that. I just know that I am trying to buy local as much as I can. So if I run across a bunch of stuff at my thrift store, then I'm picking it up. But I'm trying not to order off of thrift books right now just because the cost is just not worth it for me, to be completely honest. It's just not worth it. And I own pretty much the entirety of the Babysitters Club. I'm missing, out of the run of 140 books, so the main series had 143 books, I think. There was like 30 or 40 mysteries. And then there were like the 15 super specials, the portrait collections, like all of those books. I'm maybe missing 20 books from the entirety of, like, I'm probably missing about 10% of the collection. So those 10% that I don't have yet, those I'm okay to purchase as an ebook, and then I'll get the physical book later. Does that make sense? It's just because I have more of them. So I can go months and months and months without purchasing a book. Right? Whereas with like the Sweet Valley or Nancy Drew books, like, for example, next month in August, I would be reading the Sweet Valley Twins. but I would have to buy all 6 of them because I don't own any of them. So, or I think I own 1 or 2 of them. So I still have to get 4 of them. And I think it was going to cost me like $30. And I just can't justify spending $30 on 4 books. I'm sorry. I can't. So I think you guys understand that. Now, however, next month is Garb August. And I was like, oh, one of the prompts on the bingo card is to read a YA book. And I mean, what is better than Sweet Valley High? But I think I'm actually going to read a Christopher Pike. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's my nostalgia books. So, videos coming up. We are back to business, my lovelies. Sorry about this. My bra strap keeps falling down. Anywho, videos. If you made it this far. Tomorrow, we are going to do my week in books, and it's going to be a 2-week. So it's going to be the week I missed and then last week. So I think I have over 10 books that I'm going to be talking about. I've done a lot of reading, you guys, so that's very exciting. Tomorrow, I'm also going to film a couple of other videos. I am going to film the Garb August announcement video. I am behind the 8 ball on that one. I am so sorry. That will be going up on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. On Thursday, as I've been promising for weeks and weeks and weeks, I'm going to do my thoughts on what is that app called? Oh my goodness. Speechify. I'm going to do my thoughts on Speechify. And Speechify is the reason that I have read so many books over the last couple of weeks and have enjoyed all of them and have enjoyed the experience of reading / listening to all of them. So yay. I will be doing that video. That will be coming out on Thursday. Now, I'm also going to try to get back to vlogging. It might not be every day. I might try and do every other day. I think every other day is going to be the way I'm going to go. We're going to start back with that maybe tomorrow. And then I'll do like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We'll see how that goes. As in terms of the books that I just purchased at the thrift store the other day. Instead of doing a traditional book haul, I thought I would go back to doing the daily category romance books. And we'll start off with my new bag of books. I'll do 1 a day. So I'll film like 7 of them tomorrow. Like, they don't take long to film at all. They take 3 or 4 minutes a piece. And I'll film a bunch of them for the week. And then you guys will see one of those videos every day next week. And I'll just keep going till I got them all done. And then I'll start on more of those ones. I think the summer kind of like, I think what has happened, this is this again, a long video. I'm apologizing, you guys. Is that, I kind of went back to work quickly. I didn't know, like, that wasn't my plan. When I started that week, my plan was not that I would be working at the end of that week. Like, I had just come off a transplant 6 months, 5.5 months earlier, because I went back to work at the very end of April. So October, November, December, January, February, March to April. So I was just shy of my 8th month. Hold on. October to November, November to December, December to January, January to February, February to March, March to April, April to May. Yeah, so I was just shy of my 7th month. Just a little over 6 months post-transplant, and I was back at work, right? I think it kind of happened very quickly. And it did happen very quickly. So over the last couple of months, since mid-April, I've had to get used to being back to work. A year ago, Tuesday, on the 9th, a year ago on the 9th, I walked into hospital, not expecting to leave for 6 months or more, if at all. Not to be morbid, but if at all. So a lot has changed over the last year. I was in hospital for almost 4 months. I transplanted. I came home, and I've just been healing. And then all of a sudden, I'm back to work. Less than a year after I went into hospital. 10 months, actually. 10 months after I went into hospital, I was back to work. And it's not what I was expecting. I mean, you guys remember, if you remember at the beginning of this year, I was like, I'm so excited. I've got the next year off, blah, blah, blah. But that's not how life worked out, unfortunately. And you know what? I'm not mad about how it worked out. I'm a little kind of disappointed because I would have really liked to have had the summer off at least, just because I spent last summer in hospital. It would have been lovely to be at home this summer and, kind of be able to relax. And I could have done that. The problem was financially, I couldn't afford to do it. That's the problem. So, but it is what it is. And again, I'm not mad because I like the way that things worked out at the office. I think if I'd gone back later, it wouldn't have worked out the way that it worked out. You know what I mean? People would have joined the company before I came back, and I wouldn't be in the position am now. I wouldn't be working with the girl that I'm working with, the woman I'm working with, and she's my age. And, you know, her and I get along. We're doing quite well together. I think we're working well together. You know, I'm super, super happy. If I couldn't have the lady back, like the person I used to assist, since I don't work with her anymore, which I'm severely disappointed about because her and I were quite good friends, and it was a whole political office politics thing I'm not going to get into. I'm very, very happy where I landed, and the fact that I'm so close to home. But I think what I've needed over the last month or two is just to kind of get used to this new norm again. After everything that is, after being a sick person for so long, to suddenly being healthy and back to work, it messes with things. Like it just, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of where I've had to be lately. And I feel like now I've hit my stride and I've hit my groove. You know, I have my routines in place now. I know what I'm doing every day, and I'm really happy. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to getting back to BookTube full time again. I know things have been sporadic over the last couple months, but I really, really feel like this has kind of been a turning point. Like I think beyond feeling ill, I think maybe I just needed to take a week off to just kind of chill and relax and get back to it and realize that I missed it. Because I'll be honest, guys, part of my brain some of the days was thinking, do I still want to do this? And the words had no sooner left my brain than my mouth said out loud, yes, I do. Because I love this. Even if only 2 people watched or whatever the case may be, I just love sitting down and doing this. It's so much fun for me. It's so much fun to share these books with you guys, you know, to talk category romance more than anything. I'm seriously... This part of me considered changing my channel name to the Queen of Category Romance. To literally just change it to that, because that's kind of what I'm known as now. To kind of rebrand my channel in a way. To what I'm actually talking about here. You know, yes, I talk about my knitting and stuff like that, and I am like a bookish knitter. But I think beyond that, on BookTube, I am the Queen of Category Romance. So, what do you guys think about the rebranding? If you've made it this far, let me know what your thoughts are. Should I change the channel name? I've been the bookish knitter for a while. Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe that's the other thing that I need. You know, maybe I'm not feeling like the bookish knitter anymore. Maybe I want to be the Queen of Category Romance here on BookTube. What do you guys think? Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.